Thank you. I feel like Dan could be like my brother from another mother. And I really enjoyed his talk. It's nice to actually be somewhere that you actually understand the language as well. Because if you're ex-military, there's just this language thing that you just understand. Normally in rooms, I'm like, what the hell are they speaking about? So my name is Caz, for those of you who don't know me, and I am going to talk to you all about personal branding and stepping into the online spotlight as you, which I know some of you in this room are probably thinking, fuck, because sometimes putting ourselves out there can be really scary. So hopefully we'll eliminate some of the fear today and empower you to be able to go back home and put yourself out there online. So my online journey started probably about 6 years ago now. I was ex-military, so I had a period of my life where I wasn't really allowed online at all and completely discouraged from showing up on any social media channel. I did create a Facebook channel that was then private, and I was part of the Friday evening moaning club. You know who you are if you're in this room and you're part of that club. So I put things on there, I put family and things on there. I'd share the odd photo every now and again, nothing in uniform or anything like that. I then left the military and I joined a children's charity as a fundraiser. Now, as a fundraiser, you need to get your ass out there and ask people for money. And you need to get out there to do that. Nobody's going to come into your home and go, Caz, I'd love to give you £100 for this children's charity. Anyone single in the room as well, sorry, spoiler alert, the perfect man or woman is also not going to come into your house and ask you for a date. So we need to get ourselves out there. So I started in-person networking and went to local in-person networking events. I then started a network marketing business on the side of what I was doing as well. And I was like, damn it. Now I've got products and a business that I also need to get out there. But I was very aware that I didn't want to just go online and create like a product Instagram and just have like products everywhere and just spam everybody with my products and what I was offering. So I knew I needed to show up as myself on there and share my lifestyle and how those products fitted in with my lifestyle as well. And then I'd attract other people like me who had similar lifestyles to that, and they maybe would like the products that I was offering as well. So that was my plan of attack. And I went on Instagram and I was awful, like everybody is where they start something new. I think one of my first posts, bear in mind, this network marketing business is a health and wellness company. So everyone keep that in their minds. One of my first posts was a graphic of a dog with a bottle of wine going, do you know what rhymes with Friday? Alcohol. I was ex-military, like it takes a period of time to get that military out of you and to fully like integrate into the new person that you are. So I'm going to take you on this personal branding journey with you all now. And again, hopefully empower you all to step into the online spotlight, even if at first you don't get this completely right. So what I want to say about personal branding is really you're just humanizing your message to the world. Like people buy, do business, work with people they know, like, and trust. So you are simply putting yourself out there with your personal brand, in person or online, wherever that may be, so that you grow those connections that we've talked about this morning. So that's all you're doing. You're building your own reputation up so that then what happens is instead of you reaching out to somebody with a message or to start a conversation, them completely blanking you because they're like, who the hell are you? They're more likely to respond back to that message and start those conversations. They're also more likely to come to you because you're that kind of person that they like. So, you know, I'd start a conversation with somebody that I'd like. I wouldn't start a conversation with someone I have no idea who they are online, right? So lots of people connect with me, they reach out to me, and they haven't got a profile picture, or they haven't got like a proper cover photo of a car or something like that. Loads of things that I look at their profile and I'm like, who is this person? Now, I accept their request because I'm in personal branding and I could really help them out. But previous Caz would have been like, oh my God, I don't know this person. Like, no, it doesn't feel safe if I connect with them, start speaking to them, go and meet them in person for a coffee. I don't even know who they are. Like, so you want to let people know who you are through your personal brand. That's all we're doing. So humanize your content. So I'm curious in this room, who already thinks that they have a personal brand? Put your hands up if you think you have a personal brand. Brilliant. Lots of people, and I do see lots of people in this room putting themselves out there, and I do see lots of your lovely faces as well, so well done. I would go as far to say anybody in this room with a social media presence who posts regularly, maybe once or twice a week, has a personal brand, but they probably don't know that they've got one. And it maybe isn't curated in any particular way. So really you're leaving your reputation and what you want to be to the world up to their interpretation of your profile. So what we're going to do throughout this session is just work through how we can do it in a more strategic way and create you a great personal brand. So these slides on here, you probably see them clearer in your books, but this is just showcasing the power of personal brand messaging compared to your traditional company marketing messaging. Now, I actually believe that there is a space for both. You should be doing both. Your brand, your business needs that business presence on social media, but you also need your own presence on social media as well. And that will be more powerful than your brand or business one ever will. Anybody else have a brand or business profile and it's like flipping tumbleweed. You put a post out, a corporate graphic, nobody is really seeing it. So that's where your personal brand will come in alongside that. So I use the example of Ben Francis here, Gymshark, just because he has a great personal brand online, but also Gymshark have a great presence online as well. So it's an easy one to do comparison with. The thing to note with this brand in particular, Ben, is that Ben is Gymshark's ideal customer. So some of you in this room maybe aren't your ideal customer, but do you have anybody within your organization who is your ideal customer? Could they speak in their same language through their content that they share online? And could they weave some of the messaging in themselves as well? Maybe incentivize them to do that if you have a team. Now, obviously, you're going to have to go first for your team to want to do that and be able to do that and see their leader doing that. So you still have to create your own. But Ben has twice as many followers as his Gymshark profile. So he's got twice as many followers. Most of his posts will get twice as many eyes on them, likes, comment, engagement, and things like that. Both Ben and Gymshark actually do a really, really good job at humanizing their content. You won't just see on Gymshark company corporate graphics being shared out. You will see humans in their stores doing things, lifting things, sharing the models that they've just created based off of real life people that are their mannequins in their stores. They'll be telling a story still, they're humanizing their content. So they're getting some great engagement and views, but it's still never as much as Ben's. Because Ben founded that company. He has a compelling story. He has a compelling journey that he showcased over his time. People believe in him, and that's why people believe in the brand. So it's so powerful to do that if you can. So before you start creating your personal brands then, I believe that you should lay some foundations. Otherwise, you're literally just going to be throwing spaghetti at a wall, hoping something sticks, and just sharing God knows what to God knows who. And also, your profiles won't be optimized and set up properly. So look at these kind of building blocks on here and really get to know and spend some time understanding more about you. So who are you? Like, what has got you to the position that you are in today? Like, what qualifications have you got? What personal circumstances have you gone through over that journey? Who have you met along the way? Like, what has guided you to where you are today? What sets your soul on fire? Like, what's a real passion and a driver? It can be your business or it can be personal hobbies or interests as well. Sometimes they can be tied in. What do you want to be? Who do you want to be to others? So how do you want to actually put yourself across as well? Think about that. Do you want to be like uber profesh and like rock around in the traditional grey suits looking like a lawyer and everybody else on LinkedIn? Or do you want to stand out a little bit and maybe wear something a little bit different? Do you want to be a happy smile machine who goes around grinning like a Cheshire cat every 5 minutes? Or do you want to be grumpy and have some moans online? Like, what do you want to be? What fits with you? Have a little think about your quirks as well. So what makes you unique? What makes you stand out against the rest of the people out there doing what you do? Because let's face it, in the room, there's probably lots of people doing what we all do, but it's those little things that make us us that makes us stand out. And if you don't know what your quirks are, ask your colleagues, ask your friends, ask your family, they will tell you. What value have you got to offer the world as well? I think sometimes when we think about putting ourselves out there online, we all have this imposter syndrome and we don't think we've got any value to share with the world, but actually, We all have so much value within us. And I can't remember who said it, but you are most qualified to help the person that you were 5 years ago. So if nothing else, if you are shit at everything, and you think you're shit at everything, whoever you were 5 years ago, the version of you now is better than that. What have you gone through? What made you change? What helped you get out of that? What are you maybe doing in your business now that's helping other people get out of that as well? And then obviously at the top of the iceberg here is your ideal audience. So who are you speaking to? When you look at your profiles, and this is when we say laying the foundations, because you've got to optimize your profiles, your profile isn't there for you. Your profile is there for your audience. Like, who do you want to attract? So there's different things that you can set up. Obviously, if you've got profiles, one of my biggest bugbears is when you haven't got a profile picture. Again, who am I speaking to? Like, I can't even see a picture of you online. Like, who are you? With photos, please don't professionally catfish anyone, because essentially you're possibly going to be reaching out to people as well and meeting them in person. The last thing I want to do is to pitch up at a cafe. I have no idea who you are, and I'm there like scanning, like, where are they? They didn't like, and then this person appears and I'm like, that looks nothing like your profile picture. So put a current one up and a clear one that visibly shows who you are as well. So this leads into this, like, who do you want to be to others? So I know that, like, for example, in the world of LinkedIn, there is a million traditional shots of people stood. Toby, you've probably photographed so many people that want the traditional, stood there like that, grey suit, looking the same as every single other person on LinkedIn, because that's the professional look that everyone should go for on LinkedIn, isn't it? But actually, who would attract your ideal audience? What's the version of you that would attract them? I know that we would get absolutely cock all interest if Mardi Caz showed up on your profiles, and every time someone spoke to you, it was Mardi Caz looking at you. I get a lot more because it's like Happy Caz, even if they think, who is this lunatic? Like, they are intrigued, they go in for a little look at more because of that. So we don't need to look traditional anymore. Like, a lot of people in this room have their own businesses, you have your own things going on. I feel like 2024 is the year that we can be who we want to be in those industries. Because one thing that I know, I don't want to go with an accountancy who is the old boys club of accountancies. I feel stupid going to them. I feel like, oh God, I don't know what I'm talking about. They know that I don't know what I'm talking about. It just puts me off. So I want to go to an accountant that's fun, that's like me, that's probably female. So again, it's like, who are you showing yourself to your ideal audience? So think of your profile picture especially. That's the most important one, because that will pop up on everything. You know, you comment on someone's, there's that little grin going. That's why I'm the smile machine, because that grin is everywhere. So think about your profile picture, definitely. Only have you in your profile pictures as well on your social media channels. I'm like, great that was a brilliant family wedding, but which one are you? Make them clear, and again, don't catfish people. But then when thinking about your profiles as well, a cover photo is lovely as well. Like, it just shows that you've spent that extra time and effort going onto it. Again, what does it relate to you and what you do? How do you help people in it? How can I quickly, like, get your information to contact you? No, it's not clickable, an email address on there, but I can see it. I'm not searching for it. And then think about your bio as well. So, for example, Bob Smith, MBE, CEO, FYZ, WTF, what the fuck? Like, what does it all actually mean? If you are going and attracting people from your industry, and that will impress them and get you clients from that, and that will really work, and they'll understand what all of those letters and numbers mean, crack on, keep doing that. If somebody who you want to work with looks at those letters and numbers and goes, what the hell is that all about? And again, it puts them off going to you, because they're like, oh my God, I feel stupid going to this person. Get rid of them. I know you've worked really hard for all those letters and numbers, but they don't understand what they mean, so they're pointless having them on there. So something short, sweet, snappy. How do you help people? How do you help your target audience? And again, with the about section, not every profile and social media channel has these, but LinkedIn professional one definitely has the about section. Two things that I see people doing in the about section. Again, my name is Bob Smith. I am amazing at Bob Smith stuff. I have so many Bob Smith awards that I cannot keep up with cleaning all the awards every week in my house. Like, great, you're amazing, and you're the best human on the planet and you've got all these accolades. How do you help me? What do you do? What do you offer? The second thing I see is people literally copying and pasting their CV. And it's your about section, but you're talking about yourself in the third person. It's like, Bob Smith is a adaptable and changeable human. Right, it's boring. You usually like spacing it all together in one chunk. It's hard to read. But also, like, it's not telling us how it helps us. Like, I'm reading that thinking, again, your third person is amazing, but what's this got to do with me? If people switch off to CVs after a while, they'll switch off to yours about section there. Short, sweet, straight to the point. How do you help people? What do you offer? Boom, 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 boom. Space it out. Use emojis if you want to nowadays. Like, I know it's a professional thing and it's a professional platform and it depends what you do. But if you can have a bit of fun with it and use emojis, because again, it's a different element to like your language. I'm ex-military, obviously. We like to take the piss a lot. So if I didn't use the laughy out emoji on a lot of my things, people might take me as a very serious person and think, what the hell is she on about? But actually they see the laughy emoji and they're like, okay, she's having a laugh. It's just an extension of our language. So you might get all of this done and optimize your profile channels and everything's looking great. And then you go to post your first post and you're like, oh my God, I can't do it, I'm gonna retreat. Like, you might hit a bit of a confidence wall with this and think, God, I'm just not good enough. What will people say? What will people think? I'm showcasing myself as an expert in this. My family know I'm not an expert in this. And everyone will judge me and everyone, oh my God, the trolls will come out and they will say horrible things to me. So we've got to stop this. We've got to stop trying to be absolutely perfect and we've got to stop comparing ourselves to other people on social media. And I know that's really hard to do, but you've got to train yourself to do that. Nobody knows what they're doing. I don't know if that's like just spoiled anyone's day there, but we're all winging it, right? Especially if you own your own business. If you own your own business and you've not done that business before, or it's something, you're winging it. You're like learning it as you go. You're finding out through failure and doing things. So if we can all agree that everybody is, why don't we just show up as our imperfect selves and get over it? Because we are all imperfect humans. And then the comparison cure as well. Like, I know for myself, I go online sometimes, I'm in that doom scrolling like moment. Nothing good's going to come from that. I should just get off of the social media platform, but I'm not. I'm there. I'm comparing. Oh my gosh, isn't Sally having their best life ever? Oh my God, blah blah's in New York again. They must be earning lots of money. I'm not earning lots of money. So it's like, stop comparing ourselves and stop comparing our content with everybody else's as well. Someone amazing might be like 20 years down the line from where you're starting. Like, we all start somewhere. So just start and get better over time. So that's the thing with confidence, and just be yourself, guys. Like, I think being yourself, we can't go wrong when sharing stuff online with personal branding, really, because we are us and we have lived our lives and we have been the ones that have gone through these stories. So they're your stories. No one knows if they're true or false. Like, just share who you are. So what the hell do I post then? Right, you got the confidence, you're coming up to post. What the hell should I post? Because personal branding, do I share my lunch, my dinner, my dogs? Like, what do I share? I do share my lunch and my dinner and my dogs on different platforms. You probably won't see my dinner on LinkedIn, but you might see it on Instagram, because I'm about health and wellness on Instagram. LinkedIn, I'm about personal branding. So I've just put these here for a couple of examples. One, because the Legal Growth Conference is the kind of the sister conference to this, sister, brother, whatever PC conference to this. So I've put an example there. So when you're out and about and you're at meetings or you're connecting with people or you're showing up, like, share a bit about that meeting. There's power in taking group photos and then tagging people from that group on your social media, because it's all about getting more eyes on your stuff, right? So the more people you tag, those people are going to see it as well. So get selfieing, get taking loads of pictures, especially today, and get tagging everybody in it as well. It also means that you need to ask the people for connection requests, and then they're joined to you forever. So then you can build those relationships and share the stories through your content, and then everyone's trapped in your social media vortex. The other one that I put on there, and that was on LinkedIn, which I love, because there's a lot of social media police out in the world, and they're patrolling They're patrolling, they're like, oh my God, dogs on LinkedIn. Whoa, you should not have put dogs on LinkedIn. Oh my God, lunch, someone shared their lunch on LinkedIn. You should not do that. These are not experts and probably not your target audience or your ideal customers. And actually they should just be following people that they like more. If they don't like your content, why are they even following you? So let's just disregard them. I actually put this one on there because you've got to build like that know, like and trust. You've got to share some personal aspects about yourself and your life to build that. Like dog people love my dog posts, people getting out in nature, sharing healthy living, because that's what I do and that's why people will love that, who love those things as well. Again, it's about building those relationships and those connections. So don't just share like your company graphics and your sales posts all the time. Share a bit about you in there so people really get to know you. The reason I put the dogs on there as well is because I was out walking the dogs and a runner came up and she stopped and I was like, what have I done? And she was like, oh, I follow you on LinkedIn. And she realised I had no idea who she was. And she was like, oh, I recognised you because of your dogs mainly. Like, it's really nice to meet you. We should go and grab a coffee sometime. If a stranger feels that comfortable to in person stop running and speak to you, you are doing a good job at making them feel comfortable with your online presence. If they feel comfortable with your online presence, they will feel comfortable messaging you or replying when you message them. So again, those conversations are going to start. And again, the LinkedIn police, it kind of makes me want to post it more. I'm a bit like, you don't like me putting dogs on there? Let me put 5 more pictures of my dogs on there. It kind of becomes a bit of a fun thing that I like to do. So no matter how many mistakes you make or how slow progress, you are still way ahead of everybody who isn't trying. So I just want to kind of end and wrap this up by saying, just start. And I know you might be scared, and I know there might be things holding you back and you're unsure what to post and you're unsure about this and you don't like the amount of people that don't like their faces. I didn't realise this was a thing until we started Quirk, but a lot of people don't like photos or their faces. The only way to get over some of this stuff is to take pictures of your faces. Again and again and again and again and again. The only way to get over like, oh, I don't know what to do online, I can't put myself online, is to put yourself online over and over and over and over again. The only way to get confident with public speaking is to do lots of public speaking again and again and again. Nobody's good on day one, so just get started and just start to put yourself out there. You will find that along your journey, you will get people cheering you along. You will get people interacting with your posts. You will create great connections and great conversations with people. You will create friendships that then you can take in person as well. And this is powerful stuff because opportunities will come with the bigger our networks are. We can only connect to so many people during our daily lives going about in person. We have a whole vortex of humans online that we could tap into that could see us long after. I mean, show of hands, how many people in this room have seen my face on LinkedIn most days pop up on their feeds? Yeah, there we go. The rest of you, I don't know you and we're not connected, but you will be by the end of today. And I will annoy you with my face every day after that. But again, like when I'm networking and I'm in person, I'm making those connections. I'm not selling, I'm telling stories now. Thank you very much for that, Charlie. But once we're doing that, what happens then? We go home. We go home and we're not visible to those people anymore. They don't know us, they don't remember us, they don't know that they can have what we have to offer when they need what we have to offer. So it's about being visible to people long after. The social media is almost like the ripple effects. It's a ripple of networking that keeps going again and again and again and again and again while you are no longer in person with them. So just get out and start doing it and get online and get sharing yourselves. And I always like to set a bit of quirk work for everybody. It's like homework, but a little bit more fun and better for your businesses. So the first thing is, if you don't currently have a profile on any or all of your social media profiles, get your grid on there, get your face on there. I want it to be just you. I want it to be clear. I don't want it to be 20 years ago. I want it to be in a well-lit location. So go and stand next to a window. I promise you they won't see all of your flaws if you stand next to a window. It actually makes your skin look amazing. So go and stand next to a window and take it. Go and see Toby, who will also take some cracking shots as well. Just get a photo on there so people know who they're talking to. And then the other thing I'd like you to do is, by the end of today, I want you to snap in some photos of this event. Take a photo with you in it, either get somebody else to take it or take a selfie. And I know when you first start taking selfies, it's a little bit cringe and you're like, oh my God, someone's gonna know I'm taking a selfie. But just do it again. Let's get over ourselves. Let's just take a selfie and then post that online. Well done, great example over there in the back, well done. Get it online and then share your experience from this event. Like, what were your biggest takeaways? What did you learn? Who did you meet? Tag other people in it. Take a group shot. Tag Lincolnshire Marketing Conference in it as well. Tag me, Caz Grant. Anybody that hasn't got me on LinkedIn already and wants to be annoyed by my face, Caz Grant. And get that on there now, because this is the power of personal branding. Like, sharing ourselves, getting ourselves seen by as many people as possible with the connections that we have in the room around us. And then also getting events like this seen by more people as well. So there's a couple of things that if you'd like to take away with you, you've got them in your book so you can scan it anytime. There's a document that just gives a little bit more information about personal branding in 2024. Scan that if you'd like to have that. And then we actually have a personal branding podcast. I don't know if you've not following us on social media, you won't have seen it. But if you are, you will have seen that popped up a few times recently. So myself and Toby, we've got the personal branding, the Brand You podcast, which is the ultimate personal branding podcast. It's literally everything you need to know from before you start personally branding to getting yourself online throughout. And then we're going to have some special guests and everything like that later on. I think what we got now, 6 episodes? 6 episodes in. So we've got enough to get you started and get you online. So go and listen to that. It is on Spotify if you just type in Brand You. Or I've got videos as well on my YouTube channel, Caz Grant, if you are not on Spotify as well. So go and listen to us both. And then that's it, guys. That is the end of my presentation. But does anybody have any questions at all about personal branding?
What's catfishing? Sorry.
Oh, catfishing. When you it stems from like the dating scene, so really. So like you put something online of yourself and it's not you. And then they go and meet you in person and you're like, oh my God, I thought you were a woman and it's a man or something like that. A bit of an extreme point of view. But professional catfishing probably exists because, again, if you've shared a photo 20 years ago, do you look like you do now? Would somebody be able to spot you in a coffee shop based off of the images that you currently share online? Or would someone be looking for a very long time?
My question was about I guess imposter syndrome is probably the easiest way to describe it. So lots of people maybe building a personal brand without recognising it, but sometimes they need a little bit more support just to get them over the line of that imposter syndrome and putting that selfie out there. I mean, I know I've got a face for radio, so...
you always...
What advice would you give to somebody just to get them over that hurdle?
There is no magic pill. There is no magic pill, like, oh, just if you drink the water on your tables, you will suddenly get the confidence to start putting yourself out there online. No, it's complete BS. You're just going to have to do it and get uncomfortable and realise that nothing bad happens when you do it, and then do it again, and then do it again. And guys, if you do get trolled, or someone does put a negative comment on there, I mean, you know, through building connections, people will inevitably put a comment on a post at some point over your personal branding career that you're like, oh my God, and it triggers you and you're like, shit. Step away from your computer, do not like reply, then come back to it at a later date and then reply. But also if it's a troll and someone is being really malicious, horrible, you know, just way beyond that kind of mean comment, you have the power of a block button. So know that you have the power of a block button. So literally, what's the worst thing that could happen if you put your face on social media a few times? Someone might write something nasty, okay? You could block them. You also can protect your social media space. You don't need to be liked by everybody. You don't need everybody to follow you. You want your people to follow you. If someone is coming into that space and is being nasty and horrible, block. If they're being really, really, really awful, block, report. So, but you have the power to do that, yeah. So just do it. I know there's nothing else, Tom.
Just do it.
Just do it, like you have. You don't like your face, but I see your face all the time now on social media. And I don't look at your face and go, yeah. But I don't look at your face, Tom, and go, oh my God. We're our biggest critics as well, aren't we? Like, I get this all the time with my friends. I have some girlfriends out there that I take a picture of them. They want to see that picture instantly. So I've had to take like 5 just in case one shows their cellulite at some point. And then they zoom into that one part that they absolutely hate about themselves. And they're like, no, I don't like that one. We can't put that one on social media. I'm like, what? Nobody else is going onto your profile, zooming right into that bit that you hate and going, oh, can't believe she put that on there. So again, like, you're the only one that doesn't like your face. Everyone else loves your face. So just share it.
Another question from Ben.
Do you have any tips for consistency? I think that's one of the things quite common people struggle with.
I do, Ben, and it's in my notes in the presentation, and I didn't share it. So consistency-wise, schedule, I think, is the only thing that you can do with that, because if we're creating content as we go, like A, having the ideas, B, having the time, you get to 10 o'clock at night and you're like, oh God, I haven't posted. And then you maybe create a really shit post and put that out. It's not the time that your ideal audience is on, and it's also a bit crap. So actually spend time at the beginning of your week or at the beginning of your month, however much time you've got, and schedule it in. There's a tool called Buffer that you can use that has a free element to it, but you can schedule on the platforms. They're a bit iffy at times, aren't they, Tom? Like LinkedIn, you can schedule on LinkedIn, and it might post it at that time, but it might post it another time. You never know. But if you use a tool like Buffer or something, then you can schedule in advance. And literally, guys, I'm not there every day with my face popping up at 12 o'clock on your screens going, let me create a post now, and then da-da, there I am. I've scheduled all of that. That is scheduled, because I can sit down and I can be more strategic with it as well, because I'm like, what do I want to say? What do I want to share? And also with the consistency thing, it's like paparazzi when you're out. Like, just take so many photos of life in general, so then when it does come time to create your content, you're not going, oh, I need a picture, oh, I need a thing with, oh God, I've got no, or you've got like nothing to say. You have got something to say. Let me look back through my photos for the last week. Oh my God, I've done that and that and that and that and that, and I can turn that into a story and a post. So yeah, hope that helps.